Now, speaking of those big games, what about the Cover 3 podcast game of the month for the month of October?
I mean, there's only one. Okay, no, wait.
There's two.
I think there's
two.
I have four.
Okay, yeah, Danny, you
I have four.
I have to get some of these. I have to get some of these off because there are some honorable mentions that we have to get to.
Right.
As ugly as Penn State, Illinois was, it deserves to be an honorable mention for 9 overtimes, setting historical mark there. Army versus Wake Forest was an incredibly fun game, but I can't go there with 70 points. The game was closer than that, but there was little defense played. The two I think you guys are all getting to are the SEC matchups that we took place. No, really. So my top two were Arkansas, Ole Miss, coming down to the wire. I love Sam Pittman's decision to go for 2. Like, it had drama. It had a lot of offense. And then the other one was Bama getting beat by Texas A&M. Those were my 2 nominations for Game of the Month, the official nominations.
I think we have nominate the best game of the month then.
Uh-oh. Which one?
First of all, Wake and Army's also on my. I have 4. Wake and Army's on there. A&M Bama's on there. Ole Miss Arkansas's on there. But the best game of the month was the Red River Shootout, Texas and Oklahoma.
But there's another one, and this is where we have to talk about.
This is true.
Although I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This is where we got to talk about the Cover 3 angle to this, because there was a game that involved golf balls, mustard bottles, and
he's going to run it.
And an instant reaction during the instant reaction podcast. As you know, I'm trying to keep clean streams here. Got a lot of Dino drop ready at any moment. I didn't have the game. I needed Bud and Tom to narrate Joe Milton's decision making in the final moments of Ole Miss and Tennessee. My 2 were Red River Shootout and Ole Miss Tennessee. Though Texas A&M Alabama, without a doubt, needs to be mentioned, and Wake Forest Army needs to be mentioned. I loved the Ole Miss Arkansas game as well. But when I needed to start drawing lines, it was like, I believe the best game, because that was one of the best editions of that rivalry between Texas and Oklahoma that we've had in a long time. And then there's also just Ole Miss Tennessee hit a little bit close to home. So I can go with the Homer Cover 3 influence pick, or what I think was actually the best game. I think that's a group decision that we need to make together.
Ole Miss Tennessee.
Wow. The game wasn't. Do you think it was that great of a game?
No,
it had everything, though.
It did have everything,
but it had the stuff that wouldn't happen in the NFL. Like, we've had some NFL games that are just crazy shootouts and big plays happening, but you wouldn't have that kind of stuff going on in a pro game. Just all the insane stuff that makes college football fun.
Lane also returning to Knoxville as like the layer that sort of like set the base for all of this.
It wasn't the best game, but it was maybe like the game of the month.
Yeah, I'm actually ashamed of myself for not nominating it. So yeah, no, you're right. That was the game of the month.
Roll with it.
All right.
I can endorse it.
Congratulations to Ole Miss's win against Tennessee. That is the mustard bottle golf ball throwing game of the month for October.